Toggle, yesterday I was in the room with my dad and Uncle
Gibran, when Uncle Gibran
He made an interesting remark. He said these days social networking sites have made getting in touch with friends much simpler.
Yes, they actually have, Goggle.
Wait, he also said that through Facebook he came again in contact with many of his old friends.
Yes, Goggle. Social networking sites are among the most popular sites on the internet.
Social networking sites? Can you tell me more about them?
Sure, Goggle.
Wait, Toggle. First, please tell me what exactly a social networking site is.
Any website that allows its members or users to keep in touch with each other or share common interests is called a social networking site.
Hey, that seems interesting.
Goggle, this concept is not very new. The first social networking site was 6 Degrees. It existed from 1997 to 2001. It was followed by Friendster that came in 2002. Then came MySpace, followed by Facebook and Twitter, which came in 2006.
That's a long list, Toggle, and all this for keeping in touch with friends?
Oh, there are many more of them, but of these, Facebook, MySpace and Twitter are the most popular.
Yes, Toggle, I have heard the word Facebook very often. Can you tell me more about this site?
Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg in 2004.
So how do we go about using Facebook, Toggle?
To use Facebook, first you have to register on its site as a member. After that, you complete your profile by giving your details. Once logged in, you can search and add other users as friends and exchange news, messages and photographs. You can also form common interest groups of colleagues or of school friends.
I have heard that it is also very popular among business groups.
Yes, Goggle, many companies have set up their own Facebook pages. It helps them to connect and communicate with their clients and customers.
Toggle, you said that MySpace is a popular site, but I don't hear of it much.
MySpace was one of the most popular social networking sites between 2005 and 2008.
Okay.
It was started by Tom Anderson in July 2003.
Is it similar to Facebook?
Yes, MySpace too lets you create a personal profile that you can share with family and friends. It has very good music sharing, instant messaging and video playing features.
That's awesome! But why is MySpace not much popular then?
MySpace lost its popularity as the site became slow and less user-friendly due to heavy advertising. Slowly, this site lost out to the popularity gained by Facebook.
Okay, so what about Twitter? I have heard all popular film stars using this site very often.
Yes, Goggle, Twitter is growing popular among its users day by day. Twitter was created by Jack Dorsey in March 2006 as a social networking service. It allows you to send short text messages called tweets for your friends or followers to know about the latest happenings in your life.
Short text messages? How long a message can I send through Twitter?
Through Twitter, you can send a tweet up to 140 characters long.
I just remembered, I heard of something called a Twitter revolution in the news. What was that, Toggle?
Yes, Goggle, Twitter has played a larger role in social awakening by helping organize protests. The 2011 Egyptian movement that led to the Egyptian president Hosni Mubarak being overthrown was called a Twitter revolution because people used Twitter and Facebook to organize and coordinate the mass movement.
That really was a revolution.
Now, Goggle, you have so many friends and you love giving them greeting cards on their birthdays and other special days.
That's right, Toggle. But why do you bring that up?
Because you can send e-greetings to your friends and relatives using the internet.
E-greetings?
Yes, Goggle, there are e-greetings sites through which you can send greeting cards over the internet.
Okay, Toggle.
Some websites that allow you to send e-greetings are www.egreetings.com, www.123greetings.com, www.americangreetings.com.
That's smart use of the internet, Toggle.
That's not all, Goggle. You can use the internet to play games and talk to your friends too.
That's amazing, Toggle. How do we do that?
Online gaming means playing any type of game over the internet or over a computer network.
What kind of games are these, Toggle?
Online games broadly can be, if you love action-adventure, you can play games like Tomb Raider.
Yes, I love playing adventure games.
Also, there are simulation games like Microsoft Flight Simulator that give you a virtual experience of real-life environments. You can sharpen your strategy-making skills by playing games such as Age of Empires. And then there are some role-playing games like Mass Effect.
What do we need on our computer to play such online games?
First of all, a computer will require a high-speed internet connection to play online games.
I do have a broadband internet connection. What else is needed?
It also requires proper hardware, gaming control devices like Xbox, PlayStation and joystick, gaming software and the latest versions of Flash and web browser.
These all are present in my desktop computer. Toggle, I have also heard about online multiplayer games. How can we play multiplayer games on the internet?
Multiplayer games are heavy games. To play these games, you must first install these on your computer. You can then play these games over the internet with other players.
I really wanna play such a game. Can you name a few such games?
Need for Speed and Call of Duty are examples of multiplayer online games.
Toggle, my friend
Javed
said that many of his friends form groups and play multiplayer games online. How is that possible?
It's possible, Goggle. Some games are special games called massive multiplayer online role-playing games. These games can be played with a huge number of players from around the world. You can play these games by taking virtual roles in the game.
Who makes such heavy games, Toggle?
Heavy games are usually developed by a studio and then published by a company.
Can you name any such gaming companies?
Yes, Goggle. The top 3 gaming companies are Nintendo, Activision Blizzard and Electronic Arts. And finally, some multiplayer are what are called true online games. You play them in your browser. Some examples are Castleville and Cityville.
Phew! All that talk about gaming makes me dizzy with excitement. Now tell me, how can I talk to my friends using the internet? I'm so excited to know more about it.
Online telephony or internet telephony is a technology that allows you to make telephone calls over the internet.
That's amazing, Toggle. To whom can we make online calls?
You can talk to somebody who is using a computer, or you can even make domestic or international calls from your computer to a telephone.
Wow, that sounds great. Any idea how it works, Toggle?
When you make a call to a phone through the internet, your call goes over the internet to a local telephone network and then to the telephone you're calling.
Okay, what do we require to make calls through the internet?
All your computer needs for internet telephony is an internet connection, the right software, a set of speakers and a microphone.
That's all. Are calls made over the internet costly?
On the contrary, the calls made over the internet are much cheaper than international phone calls.
You mentioned software. What exactly does that mean?
Companies have designed a software that facilitates this process of online telephony. Skype is the most popular internet telephony software.
The internet is such a wonderful thing, Toggle.
Yes, it is. And you will be more surprised to know that you can share files with your friends through the internet apart from emailing them.
How does that happen, Toggle?
It happens through a service called File Transfer Protocol or FTP. It is the simplest and most secure way to exchange files over the internet.
How can I use this?
When you download a file from a website, you are using the internet to transfer the file from the other computer to your computer. That is why there is a T for transfer in FTP.
Okay, but tell me, is the FTP service only for private use, Toggle?
Well, no, Goggle. FTP servers can be public or private. You do not need a username and password to log on to a public FTP, but these are required on private FTP servers.
How do we recognize an FTP address on the net, Toggle?
An FTP address looks like an HTTP or website address, except that the prefix is FTP and not HTTP.
Interesting. How does an FTP work?
FTP works on a client-server model. A client program lets you access information and services on the server computer.
How can I access an FTP server, Toggle?
It isn't hard. Just follow these steps to access an FTP server. Open the FTP website. A dialog box will appear. It will ask you to enter the username and password. After connecting to the FTP server, use Windows Explorer to upload, download or delete files. Here, Goggle, you can try this out yourself. I have access to an FTP site. Download this file from this site to your computer.
Sure, Toggle. Let me try. And thanks for everything that you shared with me today.